everybody. My name is Chris, owner of BGI Associates. BGI Associates, a state licensed investigator agency in Zeeland, Michigan. I'm going to put out a series of videos which are basically just going to be from the desk of Chris. Just stories that I hear throughout the week, problems I hear people getting themselves into, and really just some of the pitfalls of taking things into your own hands, trying to conduct your own investigations, and then, of course, at times, tips, new ideas, new capabilities that BGI Associates will have in the future, and capabilities that we have now, a better explanation. What I'm going to talk about today is this week was interesting. I had a couple of different things. I had a client bring in a background report that they had run online, and it's one of the 1999 ones that I don't know how these companies get millions of customers every year to pay that amount of money for what essentially is a dump truck load of information that may or may not be related to the individual you're checking on. This particular client brought in a background check, very distraught, wanted to know why her husband had been arrested in Arizona, Montana, Ohio, and Florida. Well, after about 2 minutes reviewing the paper, I can tell you that it wasn't her husband. Close name matches. There were close name matches without dates of birth, which very clearly were not her husband for many reasons. And there was even one individual was arrested in another state that had the same first and last name, same month and day, but the wrong year of birth. Listen, you got to be careful when you go on these websites and download this information. Read the small print. On the bottom of all these websites, it's going to say clearly this is not a background. This is not to be used for employment or to determine if you're going to rent an apartment to somebody. It's just public information. It's not a background check. It's not a consumer report. I had another individual I spoke with this week. They had a family member that applied to be the leader of a youth group. The management at the national level for that group ran a background check on this individual and told her that she could not be the leader of this group because of a criminal past. Now, this individual knew that she'd had a very minor infraction at one time in her life, but it was so small and insignificant so many years ago, she was surprised. So she went to one of the other leaders within her area, said, I can't be the youth leader. I was told that the background check showed that my past, I'm not qualified. She became a little more confused in talking to this other individual, and they decided to check into it further. She did check into it further, and upon checking and obtaining the information from the original background report, there were some very serious offenses that were believed to belong to this individual. The person that ran the background check, again, accessed public information systems. They have no training in background investigations, no experience, and the crimes for which they attributed to this individuals being backgrounded were not even her. It was somebody with a similar name, actually the same last name and a similar first name, and it was not her by description and by age. And these are very serious offenses that she was believed to have committed. It was cleared up, and she can take this youth leader position, but thank goodness for the national organization that she didn't want to take action against them. They had certainly taken action against her and denied her that position, and she dug a little deeper, and she found out it wasn't correct. So listen, you have to be extremely careful when you go online and you put a name and date of birth into a system, and it gives you information back about the background of that individual, because it may or may not be associated to that individual. I I talk to many local small companies and many local small organizations, and why people invest so little in backgrounding. I have no idea why a $9.99 check, which is a state check only, or a $19.99 national check, which is just nothing but a dump truck load of public information that may or may not be associated to the individual backgrounding, is a tremendous liability for not a lot more. I'm going to run that same background check for you. I'm going to look at it with 25 years of law enforcement experience. I'm going to be able to validate it. I'm going to be able to decipher it. And anything on there that looks confusing, I'm going to be making more inquiries. So be cautious, be careful, and start investing upfront money on somebody. It surprises me when I'll tell an organization that for $49, $69, $79 I can do the level of background check they want, and they bypass that to spend $19.99, and then the very first week that employee works for them, they send them home with a $600 or $700 paycheck. Listen, it's a small investment to make up front to make sure that your employee is being honest and truthful in the beginning, and that whatever is in their past that you're aware of, so that you know how to move forward with that individual. Maybe how you would manage this particular individual, or whether or not you want to hire them at all. So, of course, second chances are wonderful, but there are times when unfortunately, dependent upon our organization, we can't give certain individuals that opportunity. So what I'm saying is, it's a skill. Okay, be cautious, be careful, and we'll have to see how the next video goes. Have a great day.